For more than 20 years, Fox News host Bill O'Reilly has been one of the biggest names in cable news. Famous for his no-spin zone and fiery rants taking political figures to task. But now it's his behavior towards women that has become subject to scrutiny, as accusations of sexual harassment are piling up against him. Here's ABC's Nick Watt.
And so he caught up with me and said, no, come back to my suite.
This morning in Los Angeles, Dr. Wendy Walsh, a former Fox News guest.
Good or bad, Dr. Walsh?
Going very public with sexual harassment allegations against Bill O'Reilly.
But he got very hostile very quickly.
Her story coming hot on the heels of multiple allegations against the anchor and against the conservative news network, facing down a barrage of sexual harassment claims from employees involving the former chairman, Roger Ailes. O'Reilly has been the Fox network's biggest star for nearly 20 years.
You are about to enter the no-spin zone.
Host of the most watched news show on cable.
Bill O'Reilly is, by many definitions, Fox News. He's their single most important personality.
I'm not litigious. I don't want any money. There's no lawsuit.
Walsh and her lawyer, Lisa Bloom, sat down with us to tell their story.
I've been doing sexual harassment cases for 30 years. What's going on at Fox News is the worst of any company that I've ever been made aware of.
We are beginning a new segment called Are We Crazy?
In 2013, Walsh began a Thursday night slot called Are We Crazy on O'Reilly's show. It was a tryout. Soon, she says, she got a dinner invite from O'Reilly's assistant.
And I thought, wow, the big boss, wow. And he brought it up first as soon as we sat down to dinner, saying, we'd like to make you a contributor.
Then, after dinner, she says...
And as we walked past the hostess stand at the restaurant, he turned right towards the bedrooms. I turned left towards the bar, and he caught up with me and said, no, come back to my suite. And I said, I'm sorry, I can't do that. And then he became hostile. All his charmingness went away. And he said the words, you can forget all the business advice I gave you. You're on your own.
Walsh appeared on the O'Reilly Factor only a few more times.
And then very soon after, he had the executive producer call me and say, we're not going to use you anymore.
What makes her statement so powerful is that she's not looking for a payout. And so the argument that O'Reilly and his supporters have been making, which is everyone's looking for a buck, well, apparently that's not what she's looking for.
Walsh's claims come along with a New York Times investigation published over the weekend, which says that 5 women who accused O'Reilly of harassment were given settlements totaling roughly $13 million on condition they would never talk. ABC News has not independently verified these claims.
Bill O'Reilly's reported $18 million contract was just renewed.
O'Reilly issued a statement on his website. Just like other prominent and controversial people, I'm vulnerable to lawsuits from individuals who want me to pay them to avoid negative publicity.
I think people who want to believe Bill O'Reilly will believe Bill O'Reilly. I think people who are predisposed to not believing Bill O'Reilly will probably choose not to.
Welcome to the Clapback with Julie Roginski.
Also this morning in New York Supreme Court, Julie Roginski, a Fox News contributor, filed suit against Fox News, claiming then-chairman Roger Ailes sexually harassed her and that she was demoted after rebuffing his advances. Today, ABC News obtained an internal Fox News memo reiterating their policies in light of the news. It reads in part, if any employee has any concerns about behavior in our workplace, I urge you to raise those concerns. Today's double whammy comes less than 9 months after Ailes, the once omnipotent Fox News chairman, was ousted over a sexual harassment scandal. Former Fox and Friends anchor Gretchen Carlson received a $20 million settlement and an apology. She had claimed Ailes sabotaged her career because she refused his sexual advances.
Boy, I hope I've helped other women to win.
Ailes denied the claims in his resignation letter, saying, I will not allow my presence to become a distraction.
Roger Ailes got a $40 million payout when he left.
At the time, O'Reilly and others leapt to his defense.
I've worked for Roger Ailes for 20 years, all right? Best boss I've ever had.
But parent company 21st Century Fox listened and launched an internal investigation which turned up at least a dozen women, some of whom have strikingly similar stories. Among them, star anchor Megyn Kelly.
It culminated in a physical attempt to be with me, which I rejected in his office, and then I contacted a lawyer. He tried to kiss me 3 times. So I rejected that. And when I rejected that, he asked me when my contract was up.
I think it is a culture of sexual harassment that started at the top with Roger Ailes, and his departure has not done much to remedy the problem.
I mean, if we were talking about discrimination of any other minority, conversation wouldn't be happening.
Last year, Laurie Lunn, who worked for Ailes nearly 20 years, opened up on 2020 to Elizabeth Vargas.
I went through such hell for so many years.
Lunn says Ailes would ask her to strip to her underwear and dance for him.
He would have me get down on my knees and tell me, you know what you are, Laurie, you're my whore, you're my sex slave. You're going to do whatever I tell you to do at any time. Do you understand that?
Lunn says Ailes then instructed her to perform oral sex.
I didn't question it, and that was his big thing. Just don't ever question anything I ever asked you to do, Laurie.
Did you try to refuse?
It's too late. The minute it happened, I knew that I'd been blackmailed because he did take photographs of me. And he would say, this is just my little insurance policy.
Ailes no longer runs the network. O'Reilly is still the star.
Welcome to Happy Hour. I'm Rebecca Diamond.
The New York Times is now reporting that back in 2011, Bill O'Reilly personally settled with former Fox Business Channel host Rebecca Gomez Diamond for $1 million. The Times also now claiming O'Reilly personally paid a producer, Andrea Macris, about $9 million, with both parties agreeing in the settlement that no wrongdoing whatsoever had occurred. In his recent statement, O'Reilly writes, in my more than 20 years at Fox News Channel, no one has ever filed a complaint about me with the Human Resources Department, even on the anonymous hotline, adding, I'm a father who cares deeply for my children, and so I have put to rest any controversies to spare my children. And Fox News' parent company coming to his defense, stating 21st Century Fox takes matters of workplace behavior very seriously. While he denies the merits of these claims, Mr. O'Reilly has resolved those he regarded as his personal responsibility.
Would you like Bill O'Reilly to lose his job?
If Mr. O'Reilly is in fact guilty of sexual harassment of multiple women, of course he should be fired. He would be fired in any other company. For some reason, Fox News keeps him. What we have called for today is for there to be an independent investigation into Fox News.
Tonight, Mercedes-Benz reportedly pulled its advertising from the O'Reilly factor.
Fox is going to keep Bill O'Reilly on the air, and Bill O'Reilly, if he's guilty of bad behavior, is going to have to adjust.
I am Bill O'Reilly. Please always remember that the spin stops here.
I'm Nick Watt for Nightline in Los Angeles.